Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's video is going to be about creating this mani, bit of orange and black with a few crystals thrown in because I really wanted to try this new product that I've bought, NSI's No Wipe Tack Free Gem Gel. I don't know if it's new to NSI or new in general, or it's just new to me, but I was very excited to try it. So this is going to be my first thoughts on this product. I'm not going to do a review because I can't really, I've only just tried it. So you'll see my thoughts as I use it for the first time. And then in a couple of weeks I'll see how it wears, and then I will do a full review for you. So I'm very excited to have tried that. Other than that, the products that I used are black velvet, which is a chat color, but obviously any black will do. I've got Madame Glam's Stardust. Oh, I love this glitter. It's just magic. It's beautiful. Luminary's Top Coat, Madame Glam's Shimmer White I use, and I've got Blue Skies Neon 22, which is the orange. And then I've got some crystals as well. So the orange crystals, these are the color Hyacinth in mixed sizes. I've also got clear in SS9, SS12, and the weenie ones in SS5. So I think that's everything. I also use a variety of brushes as well. So yeah, I've got a few nail art brushes that I use that you'll see in this video. My crystal picker upper tool, which has got sticky end on one end and pokey bit on the other end. And I think that's about it. So I hope you're are all safe and all well, and I hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, so I have swapped over to Voiceover because multitasking was just not happening for me today. Obviously, it was just too much trying to keep an eye on the camera, what I was doing, and talk at the same time. So you'll see me make a lot of mistakes at the beginning of this video, just things that I wouldn't normally do. I was just really struggling to concentrate. So anyway, enough babbling. That's why it sort of looks like I'm talking during the video, because but I ended up giving up. So anyway, I have already done my right hand, and I was going to show you how to do my left hand. I am right-handed, so I don't generally show me doing my non-dominant hand because it would probably take too long and frustrate you. Normally when I do glitter, I actually do glitter as the very last thing, because anyone that's worked with glitter knows full well as soon as you open that little jar of glitter, glitter gets everywhere. But I'd really wanted to finish off my right hand, so I'd done nail sugar on my little finger, and so I decided to start with that one doing my left hand, which is unusual, but nothing wrong with doing that. So when I do glitter on my nails, I always put a corresponding layer of polish underneath. So as you can see here, I'm using orange glitter, and so I'm putting a layer of that neon color underneath. Depending on the color and the opacity of the color, sometimes I'll do one coat, sometimes I'll do two, but I always do at least one coat underneath it. So I'm just going to pop the orange on here, and then that's going to cure in the lamp for however long the color is that you're using. So this one was 30 seconds, so I'm going to pop that in the lamp. And this is what I was talking about. I was just making all these crazy errors, things that I wouldn't normally do. So but you do see that sort of eventually stopped during the video as I just gave up on talking and just decided to just go ahead with the polish instead. So I've done my one coat of the orange. I just did the one coat, and I'm coming in with my top coat. Oh, sorry, I was out of shot there for a little bit. You do want, if you've got one, try and use a reasonably thick top coat when you do this, because basically you're relying on your top coat to keep a grip on your glitter for the length of time that you're wearing your mani. I do nail sugar, and it will last me the 2 to 4 weeks that I'm wearing it. So you do want a decent layer of top coat. Don't be stingy with the top coat, and of course cap your free edge as well. And then just come in before you cure it. I just, as you can see, pop my finger over a little container to catch the excess glitter, and I just tip that glitter over my finger. I go a little over the top with it. I just make sure, because I'd rather have too much than too little, because if you have too little, you're going to gaps in your glitter, and of course I don't want that. So I go a little bit overboard. I probably could have stopped well before now. But anyway, I'm catching the excess glitter anyway, so it's not like anything's getting wasted. So it's all good. And now that that's done, I'm going to pick up my orange wood stick, and I always just go around the cuticle because you've had that the top coat on. Just want to make sure that none of it has actually leaked into the cuticle area and side walls. The excess glitter on your finger and around the nail, don't worry about that because you can remove that when it comes out of the lamp. You don't want to risk messing up the glitter, but you do want to just clear that area around your cuticle area and side walls. So I always double cure when I use nail sugar like this. So I do my first lot in the lamp. The luminary top coat is a 60-second cure, so I've done my first lot of 60 seconds. Then as you can see here, I'm coming in with a reasonably coarse brush, not over the top, and I'm only using it lightly, but it's enough to get rid of the excess glitter around the nail and the cuticle area, and then I just pop that back in the lamp for 60 seconds. That's a Florida orange pearlescent glitter. Honestly couldn't tell you where I got that. I've had it for such a long time, but it's a lovely color. It's nice and yeah, as it says, it's pearlescent, and it's just very pretty. It's a very fine glitter. I think it's an ultra fine glitter, which is really what you want for nail sugar. You don't want anything that's too chunky or too thick, because the top coat just won't be able to hold it for the time that you want to wear it. So you really need a fine or ultra fine glitter to do that. And if you're worried about a bit of scratchiness at this on the free edge, then just come in. I'm just using a nail buffer. That's not even a file, and I'm just using it very, very lightly. You just want a really gentle touch with this. You're not trying to, you don't want to damage your top coat or your color or anything underneath. It's just taking that scratchiness just off the very edge of the free edge. I actually don't think I did that at all on my right hand. I don't think I needed to. It just depends on where the glitter lies. So we're done with glitter now. Oh, this is where I was just debating what I was going to do with each nail. I never have matching nails, as you're probably aware, but I do like to keep them consistent in the style that I'm doing, so that they do sort of look like a cohesive mani rather than just completely random. So I was just debating where I was going to put my marble nail, and I decided to put it on my index finger, as you will see. And I'm going to do my sort of French mani on my ring finger, and my half and half colour on my middle finger. And then my thumb is going to match my other thumb, but just the colours in the reverse order. So I've just decanted some of my colours onto this little palette. You can use pretty much anything for a palette. Anything that's not going to absorb your gel polish will be fine. You can use the back of a nail form if that's what you've got. This is just a plastic lid that came off a yogurt tub, I think, or something like that. And I've just decanted a bit of each colour onto the palette. So there's not enough room in my camera shot to have that in screenshot, but that's just, I wanted to show you that so you can see where I'm getting my colors from when I'm not using the actual brush from the polish bottle. So you'll see I come in with my nail art brushes, and that's where I'm getting the color from, is that little palette. So this is the Shimmer White that I'm coming in with now. This is a Madame Glam color. Honestly, I just adore this white. As you can see, I was still trying to talk at the same time and just making a right royal mess, but that does stop happening soon. But this white is a beautiful white. I'm not a big fan of a really stark, sort of crisp white, just because of my skin tone. My skin is super pale as it is, and white just seems to accentuate that. Whereas this, because it's a shimmer pearlescent white, it's absolutely beautiful. I wasn't going to do an opaque nail for this, so I'm just putting down one layer as a basis for my marble nail. If I was going to do it and I actually wanted the shimmer white as the solid color for the nail, I would actually put a layer of perfect white underneath it. Because I have builder gel and on my nails, which is sort of a skin color, the shimmer white takes at least 2 coats to build up to level of opacity. I find that if I put just one layer of perfect white underneath, then I only need one layer of the shimmer white, and it works beautifully. If you're not using a builder gel, or you're using a clear builder gel underneath, then you don't need to worry about doing that. So Oh, that's something I should have mentioned probably, sorry. If you're doing this as just a gel polish mani, then of course you would have needed to put down your base coat to begin with. You didn't see me do that because, as I've just mentioned, I have got a layer of Luminary Builder Gel on my nails, so that is my base coat. But yes, if you're doing this from scratch with a gel polish, then you would need to put down a base layer first. And here I'm just coming in with my black, and I'm just doing a sort of swipe, diagonal swipe across the nail, which is going to be the start of my sort of French polish diagonal. I don't know what the technical term for this design is, but we'll just go with that. French nail with a twist. How's that sound? We'll go with that. And I did find I had actually moved my camera angle. I'm having a bit of trouble with my camera, so I do apologize. I do go out of frame every now and again, and I can only apologize for that. I am aware of that, so I'm going to do my best to not do that in future videos, so I do apologize. And I just want to crisp up that line a little bit, so I'm just coming in with my cleanup brush with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on it. I was debating how high up the nail to do this line. It's entirely subjective. It is just personal preference. And of course, when you don't have the other color down first, it can be a little bit hard to judge. So sometimes I go in the nails a bit higher than I want it to be, or not quite high enough. And once I've just decided on where I want it, then I just come in with my detailer brush and I just fill in those extra bits that may have been missed. But yes, whatever mani you are doing, a cleanup brush and some isopropyl alcohol or cleanser of your choice just works wonders. It just gives you nice crisp lines, and it just works really, really well. So this nail I'm just coming in with the orange. This is going to be my half and half nail. So I'm going to do orange at the top half of my nail and then black on the bottom half, and that's going to be across the diagonal as well. I don't know why, I was just really into diagonals this week. I don't know what that was all about, but yeah, anyway, that's just what I did. And because of the amount of polish I was putting on, I just went in with the brush that came out of the polish bottle. And because you're putting it on a bit of a funky angle, sometimes you polish, you just need to get in there with the brush and move it around a little bit until it self levels, and then I'll come in with my cleanup brush and just sharpen up that edge as well. I do end up putting some glitter on the edge. I always do that. I just like to have glitter on the edges, so, and especially between colors and things like that, unless I'm doing an ombre, in which case obviously not, because the whole point of the design is your ombre looks lovely. But in a case like this where I'm doing two stark colors with no ombre, I like to break it up with something, and that will either be a bit of glitter polish, it might be some crystals, just something to break it up a little bit. And then there I was just cleaning up my line a little bit. I think I was deciding, that's right, I think I thought I would go in with a bit of a swirl on my nail to make it a bit swirly, and then I changed my mind and decided to go back to the line. As I said, I don't know where my head was on this day. I think it was just the weekend. I just had a really full-on week, and just everything was a bit beyond me. So, and I think sometime soon I give up talking and I just get on with the mani, and you'll see fewer mistakes from that point going forwards. There, as you can see, I've got a hair or a bit of dust or something. Oh, I got it there. You always want to get that off your nail, because basically if you leave it, it's going to get cured into your polish. And in some lights it's not always that visible. In other lights it just really does stand out. And I know it's there and it's going to bug me and I need to get rid of it. And you also want to make sure you've got it off your polish brush before you put the brush back into the bottle. Because otherwise you're just going to be rinsing and repeating for every mani that you do until your gel polish runs out, basically. So if you can't get it off, if that one was quite a solid bit of, I think it was just a hair or probably a bit of dog fur, to be honest. If you can't get it off, it's a bit of dust or something that you can't really sort of get a grip on without getting gel all over your fingers, then just wipe your brush off on a piece of lint-free paper towel or lint-free wipe of some description. You just want to make sure that you just don't get that back in your polished brush, because it's just going to come back and haunt you until you get rid of it anyway. And here I was going in with my second layer. The second layer is always easier because you're just following the line of your first layer of polish. So that's generally easier. And obviously with your blacks and your oranges and your strong colors like that, you need to make sure that your layers of polish are nice and thin. Black in particular, black and white are renowned for wrinkling or bubbling in a lamp. And that is because your layer is too thick. So some polishes are designed as single coat black polishes, a lot are not. Don't try and take a shortcut by putting on a thick layer because it'll just wrinkle in the lamp and you have to start again. There's no way to fix that. A lot of things are fixable, that's not one of them, you just have to start again. And here I'm laying out my colours in preparation for doing my marble. So I'm just putting a layer of black, a bit of white, some of the orange, and then I come in with my glitter as well, and I pop some of that down as well. I love glitter in a marble nail. It's just lovely. It just gives it a bit of edge. It just puts in that little hint of sparkle. It just looks really nice. And often I'll do the marble, and I'll go in afterwards once I've cured it with just a nail art brush or even a dotting tool, and just put little bits of extra glitter in the spots where you just want a bit of extra swirl or design. So this one, and I don't know why, as I said, I was in a bit of a funny mood this day. I wanted my marble to be quite sort of linear. I don't know why. My other hand was the complete opposite. It was more of a sort of true marble, whereas this one I wanted it to be sort of linear down the nail. So that's the beauty of marbling. You can do whatever you want. You can please yourself. You can do part of a nail. You can do the full nail. Put as much or as little as one color as you want. There are no rules with marbling. It's entirely up to you and your personal preference. Sometimes I mix the colors more, this one a bit less. Sometimes I'll use blooming gel. Blooming gel makes a really big impact actually. I don't know if you've all used blooming gel before, but blooming gel is used, you use it before you put it on the nail, and before you cure it, you put your design on, and it just gradually spreads, and then at the point that you're happy with it, that's when you put your nail in the lamp. The only thing I find with blooming gel when you're using strong colors like this is it does dilute the colors quite significantly, and I didn't want that for this mani. I wanted the orange and the black and those bold colors to remain true, so that was why I didn't use blooming gel. It's lovely if you want a softer look. I was going for a bit more of a dynamic look. I think the colors would probably lean themselves more to that, which is why I went with that, or without the blooming gel I should say. And there you just saw me hold up my two hands together just to try and get the equivalent of each nail, so that they looked a bit similar. And I'm just coming in and I'm just filling around up until that black. I'm coming in with the orange and trying to match it height wise at the point on my nail. So, and because you've already got the black there, again, this is a bit, this is going to be quicker and easier than when we laid down the black in the first place, because I had nothing to guide me, or nothing to gauge by, whereas this, I've got my black in place, so I'm just matching the orange at the top and then up until the black, and then we're done for that nail, and that goes in the lamp as well. Somehow I got a bit of a smudge of black there, so I just went in with my isopropyl alcohol and cleaned that up before putting it in the lamp. Anything to do with gel polish, if you spot anything that you're not quite happy with, fix it up before you put it in the lamp. That is always the key, because obviously once you put it in the lamp, it's cured and it's not coming off until you remove it. Some things like that, I could have gone in very lightly with the buffer and that would have cleaned it up as well. But you saw it took me literally, a second to wipe it off the nail before I put it in the lamp. So anything like that you spot, definitely fix it up before you pop it in the lamp. And here I'm just coming in and just making sure my sidewalls have got some black on them. And as you can see, this is a reasonably opaque black, but you can still see streaks in it because it is a 2-layer black polish. But I keep my layers thin. That is always the key. You're much better off doing an extra thin layer than you are doing one thick layer that bubbles and wrinkles, because that you do have to file off and start again. And I got a little bit carried away there with my isopropyl alcohol, as you can see, so I'm just coming in to fix that up. And I don't need to be too fussy with that dividing line, because as I said, I am going to be putting some glitter between the two just to break up that colour block and give it a bit of distinction. There we go. Finally happy with that. That went in the lamp. I tend to cure my blacks for longer. I don't think I've mentioned that previously. It is on the bottle, it's a 30-second cure. I always give it 60 seconds because black is, just about the most opaque color. Blacks and reds, like a deep, a strong deep red, I will do those for extra time as well. Rather be safe than sorry, make sure it's fully cured. And a nail art brush is really your friend when you're doing designs like this, because even if you're using the polish brush, because you're on funny angles and things, you really can't get down the side walls with the polish brush like you would normally be able to, because you're restricted, you're working in a confined space, and of course your side walls are right there. So a nail art brush is really sort of what you need for manis like this, if you've got one. And they don't have to be expensive brushes, they really don't. You just need something that's got the right kind of tip on it, the right kind of bristles. But you can work with just about anything. And I've got a video coming up, or I think it may actually be published before this one, on how to look after your nail art brushes and restore them. You can see the state of one of my brushes. I can't believe I did this when I put it away. I didn't put it away properly. Very unlike me. But it was fully restored. So there is a video on my channel, either coming up or already there, on how to look after your nail art brushes. Treat them with a bit of tender loving care, and they will last you a long time. So here I'm just coming in, this is that Stardust colour from Madame Glam. I'm actually using a dotting tool to place this gel. For those of you that have used this colour, you know it's a beautiful glitter, it's lovely, but it's actually got full of like little bits of glitter as well. And I find a brush, for me, just doesn't quite place the glitter properly. If I was doing a full nail of it, I would just use the brush as normal and it would be absolutely fine. When I'm doing lines like this and using it as a divider, I like to use a dotting tool because it enables me to place those pieces, those chunks of glitter exactly where I want them. And it does work beautifully. Yes, you need to continually dip in to the the decanted polish that I've got on my platter, but that's fine. I'd rather do that and have it placed exactly where I want than have to spend ages chasing it around my nail. And I think there you go, that's a bit of a close-up. You can see how I'm just moving that around my nail. That's the beauty of gel polish, as we were just saying, until you cure it in the lamp, you can just move it around, manipulate it, pop it where you want it to. If you're not happy with it, just remove it with some cleanser and start again. It is the beauty of it over something like a normal nail polish that dries and is a bit more unforgiving. Gel polish is very forgiving in that regard. And this is an example of what I was talking about before. I'm just coming in with just a little bit of extra glitter polish here. I'm not bringing in any more white or black, which of course you can. You can introduce whatever color you want just to fill in certain spots, but I just wanted a few extra bits of glitter in there. So, oh, apologies, I'm out of shot there. But yes, I'm literally just doing the same thing. I'm just moving that glitter polish around my nail, just popping it where I want it to be. And then that goes in the lamp for 30 seconds. Okay, it's time for the thumb. So I'm just lining up compared to what my other thumb looks like. The design is going to be the same, just I'm having the colours in different spots. So where I had the black, I'm going to have the orange and vice versa. This first bit might be a bit painful to watch, and I'm sorry if it is. This bit is quite tricky. I struggle. My thumbs are by far the most difficult finger for me because my nails they're just not straight. Um, my thumbs are a bit twisted, and the nails just grow in all sorts of odd ways. And I think that's probably where extensions have the benefit, because of course you can shape them so they're absolutely perfect, where of course natural nails just grow the way that they want to grow, and they're not quite straight. On that camera angle it's a bit hard to tell, but they're actually not straight across at the cuticle there. So this was quite tricky. But just like the other nail, once you get that first layer down and cured, then from that point forward it becomes a whole lot easier, because your second layer of orange is just going to be over the first, and then the black just goes around it. So once this bit is done, then it becomes a little bit less painful to watch. So I do apologize for that. But I often struggle with my thumbs just because they are a strange shape. My thumb's in my middle finger, which was damaged in basketball game when I was a lot younger, and I damaged a ligament, and so my finger my finger got a bit twisted, and so my nail grows a bit strangely. But these are the things, we just do what we can do to yeah, to dress our nails up, and yeah, who cares at the end of the day? No one's perfect, you just work around it. But yes, I do want to just crisp up that line, and then I pop it in my lamp, hopefully fairly soon. Yep, there we go. We're just like, okay, that's as good as it's going to get. So in the lamp it went. Oh, no, apparently not. I must have spotted something before I put it in the lamp. There you go. Now it's in the lamp. So yes, that's going to do its...
Okay, so now we're getting to the good bit where it is time to put on the crystals. So we are trying our NSI Gem Gel, no wipe, tap free. So as I said, I don't know if this is just new to me or new in general, but it is super thick. It's by far the thickest gel that I've got. Yeah, imagine if you encapsulated glitter in this, it would last for a lifetime, I reckon. Anyway, we'll see how we go. I'm going to try with a brush today. If I don't get great results with that, then next time we're going to try with a dotting tool and see how we get on with that. So obviously I'm not going to put any crystals on my glitter nail. This one I think I'll do, and I don't really know how much of this to use, but we'll see how we go. So I've got a bit of a dollop on here, nothing too extreme. Probably about the same that I would put on Builder Gel, but this is far less runny, which is nice because it means, if you put your crystals, oh sorry, I'm out of shot, you put your crystals down, hopefully they won't move by the time you get them into the lamp, because as we know, once that gel sets, that is it. And the only way you're going to move your crystals is if you remove them, buff the nail and try again. Okay, so we'll see how we go with that. I've got my little crystal picker upper. What colour should we go with? Clear or the hyacinth? Might do a large hyacinth in the centre, and then put a couple of clears around it, I think. Actually, let's do a few more. Let's put some around the base here as well, because it's just that kind of shape nail, or design I should say, with that V, so we can come down a little bit. We'll go with our SS5s for this, I think. Give it a nice little surround. I do apologise, I'm trying to get the hang of this camera in this new spot, and it's yeah, I will get it sorted. Also trying not to drop my crystals in my pot of gem glue. That wouldn't be great, would it? All right, Now I've got some time to play with these because this isn't glue or anything, so it's not going to air dry. So let's just have a play and get these just right. Press the gem into it a little bit more. Yeah, I really have got high hopes for this gel. I'm really hoping that this will become my holy grail for glitter, crystal placement. All right, we are going to freeze cure that. Okay, that's just had about 5 or so seconds in the lamp. This one, I haven't got another nail like that, have we? So I think we should probably just go with all clear for this one, because I don't think you're going to really see the orangey crystals over this orange polish. So we are just going to go in with our clear ones on this finger. This is so thick. So it's not really giving the opportunity to self-level or anything like that. And because it's on shiny gel, it's actually a bit hard to see where I've placed it, but also the camera's blocking my light a little bit. I think that's probably about right. Should be enough, I think. I'm just going to feather that down a little bit. And get my crystal picker upper. Because it's my middle finger, I think I'll go with an SS12 in the middle. And I might put, oops, might put a few SS9s around it, I think. Sorry, I just paused for a sec. I had to do a sneeze. Didn't think you'd appreciate hearing that. All right. Bob a couple of SS5s on the side, I'm thinking, just to fill in these little gaps. So gloopy. It's like a gloop fest. I'm not sure there is such a thing, but you know. And maybe we'll put one there. Except we don't really want to cover up all of the orange, so maybe I'm getting a little bit carried away, but I'm good at getting carried away with crystals. I just, and you know, also when you're trying out a new gem glue, you kind of, that's not looking special, is it? I think we're moving a little bit here. Okay, I'm really not liking that. I'm going to take that off and start again. Okay, so I've removed the crystals. I've obviously got that gem glue sliding down my nail, so I am just going to take some isopropyl alcohol and remove that from my nail. There we go. I will also clean up those crystals a little bit later. I'm certainly not going to waste those, but I just wasn't loving how that was coming together. It just wasn't looking great. So we just let that dry off and then we'll try again. So I might go with the 12s and then the 5s. I think where I went wrong was when I did the 12s and the 9, and they all just looked too much of a similar size. So let's take our dollop. And actually it's a lot easier to see now that I've wiped the tacky layer off the gel polish, because of course it's not shiny now. So I'm liking that. That might be something I try in the future. Mind you, it's probably only until I get used to working with this gem glue. Once I know how much to put on, then it won't really be an issue. At the moment, it's all a bit experimental because I haven't used this before and I haven't seen any reviews for it or anything. So this is a true trial and error type situation for me, which is fine. I'm used to doing that. That's the fun of it, really. That looks like quite a lot. So I've got some gooped over here. It is very, very goopy to work with, just so you know. If you're not used to working with goopy gels, then this is going to be something quite different for you. Sorry, I've knocked the camera again. Okay, now I think I'm going to come in with my 5s and skip on the 9s. So it just goes to show, no matter how many times you have applied crystals, sometimes still just doesn't come together. And, you know, but as you saw, it's easy enough to just remove what you've done and start again. You know, I'm not in a time pressure here. I'm not in a competition or anything. So it's just kind of like, oh, well, I'll just do as the mood strikes. So when you're moving your crystals around, if you've got a crystal picker-upper, like I have, you pick it up with one side. And when it comes to moving the crystals around on your nail, use the other side, because you really don't want to get, you know, sticky gel on this end of your tool if you can avoid it. Because gel and crystals don't really go all that well together. I assume, as you know, when you do your top coat, you never top coat over the top of crystals because it dulls the shine. So when you're moving around on your nail, you don't want to have got some gel on here while you're moving it around. And then, of course, when you pop that in your lamp, it's going to cure and it's going to dull your crystals a little bit. So have a separate side for. There we go. I'm just going to feather that out. Just a quick little tip while that's curing. I had my all the crystals that I removed earlier. What's the point? I'm going to do a voiceover. So